It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning and welcome to Wednesday Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 28th day of June. Boy, we've almost put another month in the bag this year. Goodness gracious, it's going fast. Anyway, coming to you from Bedford County, Virginia. As always, welcome aboard. We do have several main stories this morning. A whole month of cruises canceled. Adrian expected to become a hurricane today. A woman medevaced from Carnival Radiance. Ocean Key Marine Reserve dry dock. What? Celebrity to visit CocoCay. I say Key, they say K. Emergency drill in Charleston today, and a whole lot more here live at 11 o'clock this morning. Coming to you from a very warm Southern Virginia. We're into a stretch now of typical summer weather after we've gone through a lot of cold stuff. So I will be getting out in the pool. So I can promise you that's going to happen today. Today, folks, is National Tapioca Day. I can take it or leave it. You don't see it very often. It's not my favorite anyway. We'll say good morning to Joanne and Gretchen and Steve. Glad to see you with us. If you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. To search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. If you are ever listening to the podcast and want to hop over to see any pictures or clips or interviews that we may be using on that day's show, there's always a link in the description of the podcast so you can do just that. All right, guys. Today, and quite frankly, let me bring you up to date. It's been a really busy morning. I got my computer back yesterday, so I'm back on the normal computer today. And it's been fixed, but I had to set everything up this morning because to doing all that, they literally had to strip everything off of it. So I've had to basically rebuild my computer, which, that's okay, for what I do. So it's taken some time this morning, and then I actually overslept a little bit, which is really unusual for me. The cats didn't even get me up until almost 5:30, which that's late for me. And then I settled back in the chair to have my coffee, and I fell back asleep. So I was late getting started, and it's been a pretty busy morning. So I didn't get a lot of the extra things done that I like to do for these shows. However, we'll get to them. We'll catch up. I can promise you that. All right. We do have a message from Eli on location.
Hey, Chillie and the gang. It's Eli on location here in Cozumel at the beautiful No Name Bar. And you know what? I just filmed the video, but it was almost 3 minutes long, so too long. So now I gotta talk fast. So I just want to say, hey, Chillie and the gang. It's a beautiful day once again here in Cozumel, and I couldn't think of a better way to have my send-off than to come down to No Name Bar here and on a glorious day and say goodbye to everybody, because I'm heading off to the QM2 on Friday actually is when I join the ship, but I'm flying out on Thursday. So anyway, I just wanted to say see you soon, and I will send some videos from the ship when I'm on the QM2. I'm leaving on the 30th of June, but then I will be back on the 18th of August. So I'll be back here And then you can say hi to people like Miguel there in the background. All the best dive companies down here in Cozumel, right here next to Barracuda Hotel, where the No Name Bar is. That's Scuba Wands. So again, come on down and visit everybody. And if I don't see you down here in Cozumel, then I'll see you on the high seas. I will be on the QM2 until the 18th of August, and I'll be back here in Cozumel. So I look forward to seeing everybody, and I'll send you some videos from the ship. And take care. Hope to see you all soon. Take care, everyone. Thanks, Chillie. Hey.
That's my friend Elizabeth down in Cozumel. She's getting ready to go on to the QM2. So good luck to her in her travels. We will have another little clip from her tomorrow morning. Let's see. Robert's with us. Good morning, Robert. Well, speaking of the devil, Elizabeth's in the house. Hi, Elizabeth. Katie's with us. Hot Air Tom is here. Nikki's here. Awesome. All right. Today at 1 o'clock will be the Solo Cruise Deal Show USA. It's episode 3. It'll be me and Pete. We're going to be talking about solo cruise deals. But I tell you one, folks, there's one that we're going to be talking about today that, man, I'd like to do. Don't know if I can afford it, but it's really a good deal. But it's definitely one of my bucket list cruises. I know there's not a lot of solos that watch this show, but that's okay. Some of you that are double occupancy guests just might want to check this one out because it's nice. But that'll be at 1 o'clock today. I didn't put any links. I haven't had time to put links out. Anyway, you can always get on the Passion for Cruises website or Facebook page, and you'll find us. So I will try to get it before the show, get the links out. So that's coming up today at 1 o'clock Eastern time, my time. All right, the top story this morning, folks. And by the way, if you have not done so, please consider smashing that thumbs up button. That helps the channel out a lot. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And by the way, folks, before I get to this, I do have one other thing that I might mention. I'm getting ready to actually hit 2 milestones this week. I'm going to have... very soon, I'll have 200,000 followers on Twitter. Never have understood if that makes any difference. But really, the most important milestone this week is probably sometime today. I've got a video that's going to hit 250,000 views over on TikTok. So all of a sudden, my TikTok account, which I've struggled for a couple years with, doing virtually nothing, has taken off. I haven't done anything different, but something just happened. So I got one video with almost 250,000 views now, which that's awesome. That's also brought a lot of you folks that are new to this channel, has brought you over here. So that part is great. All right, so back now to the top story of the day, which has to do with Celebrity Beyond. Of course, she's the newest Edge class ship. And the Celebrity Fleet. She's not going to be sailing in Europe for the spring, summer, and fall of 2024 as originally planned. The ship was to have been based in Civitavecchia, offering 10 and 11 night sailings to Greece, Croatia, and Turkey. Instead, the cruise line has announced that the ship will be remaining in Fort Lauderdale to offer Caribbean itineraries year-round. As a result, all of Celebrity Beyond's summer 2024 European sailings, as well as the transatlantic voyage scheduled for April 22nd to May the 6th and November 1st to the 15th, have been canceled. Bummer for you guys in Europe. Obviously, that's great for the guys over here. Of course, some of you European folks can still travel to get to the Beyond. But yeah, that's, I hate these things. I mean, I understand why celebrities doing it. They make more money in the Caribbean than they do in Europe. So anyway, that's another one of those big cancellations. Of course, they're offering some compensation and stuff. So just check that out. All right, guys, you got a couple days left. If you're interested in a mobility device, you still got a couple days until the summer sale runs out. Time to save big on portable mobility scooters and electric wheelchairs. Get 8% off when you use Summer 23. That's the code to put in. Summer 23, and you'll get 8% off. The sale lasts until the 30th. Scooter round and wheelchairs, any lightweight scooters and electric wheelchairs, 8% off. You can shop online or call 1-844-664-7467. Use the SRN 11137, and that'll help the channel out a little bit. All right, we've got to talk about weather. In the Atlantic, we'll start with that. Looks like we're getting a little close together there, huh? Southwest of Bermuda, an area of disturbed weather associated with a surface trough has formed about 400 miles southeast of Bermuda. Upper level winds are marginally conducive for some slow development of the system during the next few days, while it moves generally northward at about 5 miles an hour. Over the next 48 hours, you got about a 10% chance. Formation through the next 7 days is still fairly low at 20%. The other system, the one actually closer to the States, is a weak trough of low pressure associated with the remnants of Cindy, located about 400 miles southwest of Bermuda, producing disorganized shower activities. The system expected to drift toward the west-northwest during the next couple of days. Redevelopment is not expected due to strong upper-level winds. So very little chance of further development in the Atlantic. Not the same story in the Pacific. Adrian continues to strengthen. It just became a name storm during the day yesterday. It's expected to become a hurricane later on today or tomorrow. Locations about 335 miles southwest of Manzanilla. Sustained winds currently 65 miles an hour. It's moving to the west at 9. Barometric pressure is down to 994. So look out, folks. This could be nasty. However, don't look like it's going to hit land. It's going to just, at least for now, it's going to spin around out there in the water. There's no coastal warnings in effect for the system to the south of Adrian, south of southern Mexico and Central America. Showers and thunderstorms are beginning to show signs of organization and an association with a broad area of low pressure located a few hundred miles south of the coast of Guatemala and southern Mexico. Continued development of this system is expected, and a tropical depression is likely to form today or tomorrow, while it moves west-northwestward at 10 to 15, roughly parallel to the southern and southwestern coasts of Mexico. Interest along the southwestern coast of Mexico should monitor the progress of the system during the next couple of days. 70% chance of further formation in the next 48 hours, 90% over the next 7 days. So you got two systems off the coast of Central America and Mexico. One will be a hurricane today. The other one could be a hurricane in another couple of days if it continues to develop. So we'll just definitely have to watch that. Let's see. Who else is? Mike's with us in the chat room also. Hey, Mike. I'm not used to having a second computer going, which that was one thing that having a computer in the shop as I got my old one actually out of the mothballs and up and running again. All right. We had a little medical evacuation from the Carnival Radiance. A 57-year-old woman was evac by a Coast Guard helicopter. The incident occurred 35 miles southwest of Point Loma. The crew members of the Carnival Radiance contacted Coast Guard Sector's San Diego Joint Harbor Operations Center seeking assistance for a passenger who was showing symptoms of a stroke. In response, the Jayhawk helicopter crew, accompanied by a paramedic from San Diego Fire and Rescue Department, Special Tactics and Rescue Team, boy, that's a tongue twister, came to prevent aid. Upon arrival, the crew deployed a rescue swimmer who safely retrieved the patient, after which she was transported to Scripps Memorial Hospital, La Jolla. There we go. My mouth wasn't working there. By the way, the patient was reported in stable condition. So another good job by the folks out there. All right, this came actually from, I got word from our friend Cindy this morning, and it actually wasn't anywhere in the news cycle. So glad to have this story. But Ocean Key Marine Reserve will be closed next year from April 7th until May 22nd to make enhancements to the guest facilities and for some work on future development. The ships affected include MSC Medevaced, the Divina, Seashore, and Seascape. All had visits scheduled during that period. Those have been changed. Will go to either Nassau or Freeport on the days that they were scheduled in there. So we've got the first time that I've known of that we have one of the private islands going on a dry dock. All right. That's too bad for the folks who were scheduled in that time, because Ocean Key is really, to me, it's the best of all of the Bahamas private islands. I really like Ocean Key. Okay. Speaking of the private islands, Celebrity Cruise Line has revamped their summer 2024 itinerary, most notably featuring the maiden visits for celebrity cruises to Perfect Day at CocoCay. Celebrity Beyond and Celebrity Reflection will now include Perfect Day at CocoCay on several sailings. The revamped program also includes an increased number of year-round Caribbean sailings to the Eastern, Western, and Southern Caribbean, and exciting weekend trips on board Celebrity Reflection. Celebrity Reflection is going to be doing like some 3 and 4 nighters. So somebody that's maybe has wanted to try Celebrity and thought it was a little steep for their budget, there's a chance, folks. Check that one out. Of course, usually in the past, Perfect Day at CocoCay has been reserved for Royal Caribbean International guests only. So Celebrity is going to be going in there. All right. The last news story for the day, folks, comes from our friends down in Charleston. Multiple agencies are participating in an emergency drill and mass casualty simulation in Charleston Harbor today. The scenario is as if a cruise ship would be struck by a supply vessel in the harbor, and it would be necessary to evacuate approximately 100 people from the vessel. Simultaneously, victims will be portrayed in the water to further test emergency procedures and responses. There are no cruise ships scheduled into Port Charleston today. But, normally Carnival Sunshine is homeported there, and TUI Cruises Marilla Discovery visits there regularly. So there's a good reason for them to do this test simulation. It will not only be carried off in the harbor, they're also going to be doing some simulated tests in the city as well. I mean, the people, if you have casualty event, you've got to take the back end of it into effect. So they're doing that in Charleston today. Good for them. Glad to hear it. All right, that wraps up the news portion of today. I know I've spoken to some of you in the chat room. So let's run over here and see who else is with us. It's a Cruise Life is here. Good afternoon. Hi, good to see you. We had a man overboard nearby in the Swift Creek Reservoir over the past weekend. 71-year-old man and not recovered. Sorry to hear about that. Mike's with us. TikTok. The Chinese are after our chili. Yeah, that could be. How early should we book? Wait a minute. Let me come up here. Not sure where we're going with that. So let me back up here. It was Elizabeth, Katie, Hot Air, Nikki. $6 million computer, and we can rebuild it faster and stronger than before. Yeah. Any advice on booking flights? Our first cruise is May next year. We're going to Vancouver from Kentucky. I can't even think what I'm flying on, Steve. I just, I search for the best deal. I really don't pay that much attention. I highly recommend that you go in the day before the cruise, at least. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing back-to-backs here in August. I'm flying to Vancouver the day before the first cruise, and then getting on the Nordam, going up to Whittier, taking the train back to Anchorage, and I'm staying in Anchorage 3 days, going back up to Whittier and getting on the Sapphire Princess and coming back to Vancouver and flying home from there. If you see Air Alaska, they're always really good. And I don't know if you have, I think in Kentucky, you get Southwest also. We don't get Southwest here, so I never get to fly Southwest. I know Jason, my son, flies Southwest a lot. But yeah, I hate flying, Steve, so I'm the worst person in the world to ask about that. So I'm just not good with flying. We're definitely going the day before. Okay, good. That's always good. And then it's just whatever fits into what you want to do. Vancouver has, I know they've got a fabulous there's several museums, and there's a water park that's really good, an aquarium that's excellent. So maybe I'll do a thing on Vancouver and some of the things you can do. I need to do that anyway. I was just curious as far as pricing goes. How early should you book? Should I wait about 6 months or just book it now? Most airlines will give you a price guarantee. So if it drops, you'll get the new price. I normally don't book that early, but then other people tell me that I'm nuts. So I would say, Steve, if you get a price that you can live with, grab it and growl, and then you just watch it. And if there's a big price drop, you can always contact the airline and request them to honor the new price. So, all right. Katie says, seeing the interior of Alaska gives me an idea how expensive the state is. Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't pay that much attention to it, Katie. Yeah, now I've never looked at it from the standpoint of living there, but my friend Nate lives there and he loves it there. So you're welcome, Steve. And I'm sorry I'm not more helpful on that. I try to be more helpful, as a matter of fact. But, flying's not one of my helpful suits. All right, guys. That's going to wrap me up for today. Of course, at 1 o'clock this afternoon, I'll be doing the show with Pete on the solo cruise deals. If any of you want to hop in, we're going to be talking about a bucket list cruise today that has a dynamite solo package. So, a multiple person deal's got to be really good on that one too. So just throwing that out. I'll be posting the link for it here in a few minutes. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Appreciate all of you being here. Appreciate all of you always, of course. Don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so. The bell notification tells you when I go live or when a new video is posted. I try to do both every day, and that will take care of us for this one. As always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon, we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a fantastic day. Hope to see you on the solo cruise show at 1 o'clock. Later, guys.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.